Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. It's time now for a review of newspaper headlines. And of course, we're going to start with the newspaper of record this day on Saturday.
Right, and on the cover, the lead story is focusing on the reports in The Economist. And it says, The Economist, after painful reforms, Nigeria's economy bearing results. Warns optimists to be cautious. Optimism with caution. Naira ends January stronger, closes at 1,391 to a dollar on the official market. And then stock market begins 2026 on a positive note, gains 6.8 trillion naira.
Yes.
Not a bad not a bad way to look at the economy.
Definitely. I looked at the Economist report. I've looked at the reports from the IMF, from the World Bank, from conversations we're having. We have seen macroeconomic trends trend in the right direction. Yeah. Whether or not we agree with the inflation going close to 15%, we can't say inflation has reduced. We can say that, okay, the dollar is suffering across the world due to Donald Trump's actions. However, the Naira has strengthened, has stabilized. We have our foreign reserves are hitting numbers that we have not seen since PDP eras. So we're seeing positive macroeconomic trends. Now, the problem here is that even with the Economist, even though they're saying that it's bearing results, the same with the IMF and World Bank, is they're still telling us that on the lower levels, Nigerians are going to be hungrier, that poverty is going to increase. So what does it mean for the wealthy, the big investors in the stock market to be able to see more money, for a foreign exchange to stabilize in this way, and for the poor Nigerians to still be getting poorer? Yeah. That means that the macroeconomic trends are not trickling down to microeconomic indicators. And for me, I think where we also see that gap is important, that we must call our governors to order, because they're getting all these FAC allocations. These macroeconomic trends mean they're getting more money. What are they giving us in return? The governance at the local level is still faltering. And I think we can look at President Tinubu and give him some kudos and also challenge him on some things. But our governors, where are they? There are 36 of them.
Absolutely.
What are they doing with their bounty?
Getting more money. All right, a few more stories. Okonjo-Iweala urges Nigeria, Africa to double growth rates and aid dependency. That story is on page 7. And then if we go on top, there's politics. Turaki faction appeals after court nullifies Ibadan PDP convention. Dismisses judgment as academic exercise. Insists no cause for alarm. Wike faction says it's victory for democracy. Wike, it must be a factor in the whole discussion, isn't it? As far as PDP is concerned. But before we leave this day, and a very important story on page 9 of today's This Day, Fela Kuti becomes first African to receive Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. I believe that will come later tonight or early morning tomorrow, actually. Vanguard is also reporting the same thing, that it will happen tomorrow. That's a big deal, and at a time that people are now making needless, and I dare say silly comparisons, about this and that. I think that this explains what greatness looks like. First African to be honored
after his death.
29 years after he left. Lifetime Achievement Awards, not from Africa, not from like any, roadside thing, but from the Grammys.
Even though it would be good to Africa to award his own, but I do take what you're saying very importantly there, is that there's been needless aspersions about what his influence looked like, and maybe compare him to a pop superstar of today. It's kind of the way sometimes people can try and compare Michael Jackson to Chris Brown. It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical. However, because Fela represents more than just music.
Absolutely.
And he represents, I went back to listen to Omi, how do you say?
Water,
yes, Omi Olota.
And
that is something that still has importance across the continent. If you look at what's going on between Egypt and with the dam, and Ethiopia, these are the things that Fela has been talking to us about long before they ever happened, and that is impact.
And we shouldn't confuse the idea of greatness, with popularity or celebrity. I mean, let people grow up and be sincere about what they're doing. That's the point. Okay.
What are no guess
except for the fact that people are self-deporting, as Punch is reporting, from Trump's America.
And of course, Nigerians dismisses claims that the North won't vote for Tinubu, but I'm not entirely sure that I would take Ganduje's voting aspersions.
And Atu Musawa, the tourism and culture minister, also said the same thing. So people are talking. We're getting.
I mean, she's talking.
Into the political
that has to do
season.
with the Shatima VP slot, I think. There.
Absolutely. All right, that's where we end it today, and that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
As always, I'm Adesua Giwasage, and from my entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria, enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day.